Alright, we might as well get started. Welcome everyone. I hope everyone's going well tonight. We are joined here with Socks in her bed because it is cold and she is like, you know what? I don't want to get out of bed. I don't blame her. Don't blame her at all. We're going to continue on with the... am I sharing my screen? Yes. We're going to continue on with the documentation... not the document upload sort of section. I've just realized that we're going to fix a couple of issues very, very quickly. So we'll just do that. There we go. Done. I've updated Welk. I forgot to do it on the weekend. I pushed it just before. So we can continue with this. Now, I'm just going to go npm run dev just to get everything ready and running. There is Socks. Hopefully that is a still good camera angle. Yeah, it'll do. Alright, so here we are at this. Whoops. Where do I want to go? Localhost. You know what? I'm not even running the code. Let's just boop. There we go. All right, cool. All right, under documentation, I can't actually see what the documentation stuff says. I've got Socks' head right in the way. So I'm just gonna do that so it's all the way over here. We've now got the upload perfect. All right. Now I've just got to do the new folder, the new link, and the upload document. That will be a modal. I think we discussed it last time. Oh no, I did pseudocode. So if we go into here, did I do the pseudocode here? Yeah, I did the pseudocode here. So we're just going to import the modal. And then we've just got to do the new folder and these particular components. So that'll happen now. All right. So how did we want to do this? I want to minimize everything. I kind of want to close stuff off that I don't need this second. There we go. I'm going to open up the source because we're dealing with the front end components. All right. This will be part of the documentation stuff, which is under the object component documentation. We have the create and filter. Yeah, this will actually belong under here. Okay, sweetie, you just tripped over my hand. You're meant to be a cat. You're meant to be elegant. You're not meant to. You are getting old, sweetie, I know. There you go. Butt rubs. You're like, yeah, I'm a fan of butt rubs. Yeah, I know. There you go. There's the pats. The belly rubs. You don't want to know? Or what about those sternum scratches? You're like, oh yeah. Yeah. All right. There you go. She likes sternum scratches for some strange reason. Because these will only belong under here, I do kind of want to keep these as sort of children under here. So I'm going to, once again, do something like this. We're just going to go new folder. Once again, we'll just do one of these. We'll have new link. And once again, upload document. Easy done. And we're going to create a view component called new folder. There we go. Easy done. Now, the modal itself is all set up. We're perfectly fine with the modal. If we wanted a header component, we would put the header component in the new in these sections down here. Or, in fact, I would technically put it... Oh, I could just put it up here, and then... Depending what we're meant to do... Yeah, I could just put it up here. That's fine. Don't need to put it down all the way down here. And then I can have the close thing there. However, for the moment, we're just going to get the modal out, have it look nice, and then figure it out. So we've got the modal class. We're passing everything down that we need. Actually, modal class. Show, oh, how big did we want to actually show this? I'll figure that out. All right, I'm thinking way too ahead at the moment. Right now, I just need to get stuff out there. So we need to import this. Need to pat Socks a little bit more because she's a little bit unhappy. And then she comes back and she's like, all right, cool. I'm going to stretch in front of everyone. And then she's going to sit down on my mouse. There we go. This is Socks 101-ing. All right. And there we go. All right. So we've got those three components. Sorry, I'm just going to close everything that I don't need open at the moment. And what we're going to do is header 1, upload document. All right, sweet, it's there. We're going to go header 1, new link. All right, sweet, it's there. Header 1, new folder. These are just for us testing to make sure it all works. We've then just got to import all of this. It's as simple as that. As for the modal class, we'll figure out the size in a bit. Just because I want to have a look at it first, and then we're going to sort of implement it. Whilst we're doing that, I am going to log into NearBeach. I'm actually going to go improve. There we go. I'm going to open up that and I'm going to show documents. All right, cool. So that way I got the old method up so we can reference it. Now, it's not imported. Yes, it is. Okay, let's go over here. I'm just going to hit refresh. I'm going to click on document. The idea being new folder. Oh, this doesn't show. All right, I'm going to bring that off to the left. So we've got the welcome modal. But we should have one where it's an and. All right, give me a couple of seconds. I'm going to bring up the welk source code. I'm going to put it there. With the drop down here, we don't need that anymore. I'm just going to minimize everything. I'm going to open up that. I'm going to open up source. I'm going to open up components, modal. We've got the welcome modal. We're going to scroll all the way down and... all right, it does not show. All right. This is why we look at the source code and double check everything. This would be up here. That would be open. Oh, I don't know how I did that. I'm just going to refresh this. I'm just going to bring that off to the right so you guys can see. We're going to go into documents. We're going to go upload new folder. Boom. All right. Now, the problem is I can't actually close that at the moment. So I'm going to implement a header where we can close this. But first what we're going to do is we're going to go tailwind. Modal. CSS. Yeah, tailwind modal. All right, and we're going to go to flow byte. I'm just going to do this so you guys can actually see. We're going to essentially do something like this. Now, in this sort of case, something like this would be like a header 3. We're going to also use a header 3. So in here, we've got the modal, we've got the teleport stuff. We're going to have welp modal header, like that. We are going to import that. And I'm just double checking that I've got the right sort of thing. Yeah, it is header, welp modal header. All right, cool. So we'll have that. And then inside the header, we'll have some information. So one of the things I will do ooh. Why do I have terms of services there? I'm just thinking of a good class name. This will be create and filter modal. All right, easy done. And then depending on what it is, depends what we actually want to show here. Which means I'm going to use a variable. I'm going to have header name. And by default, it's just going to be that. When the target string comes through, oh, sorry, my God. What I want to do, header string. We could do this in a dictionary. That will make a lot of sense. But I think just a simple switch statement will suffice in this sort of case. All right, the case, it will be, and once again, we've got new folder, new link. And upload document. We'll have a default and we'll just break. There's nothing for the default to do. Essentially with these particular ones, what we want to do is we want to have header string dot value equals, this will be create new folder. Oh, we need to translate these. And give me 2 seconds. Oh, it doesn't like the... I've done something in here and it doesn't like it. Or the lint is on the frets. Oh, fucking lint. Anyway, now I've forgotten exactly what else I wanted to do. All right, so we've got this. We've got the translations. So up here, what we want to do is we want to go define internationalization. Const t equals use internationalization. And messages are English, Japanese. All right, straight off the bat, what we're going to have is new folder. Easy done. New link. And then upload document. And we're going to do the same thing here. Now, why is my linter going crazy? Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting errors, but that's fine. We'll move on. Wait, oh, yeah, all right, cool. There we go, all right. And then that will be like that at the end. Just double checking everything. Use internationalization. Use internationalization. Yeah, messages, it's an object, obj, yeah, it's looking fine. I'm not getting anything weird. I just think this linter's just gone crazy. Annoying as hell because it's now going to show up red text everywhere, which doesn't make any sense. All right. So we've got the crate and that, all of that. I'm happy with that so far. We've got the header name. This. Depends on the header. But yeah, all of this then gets changed. We don't need the switch statement anymore. Because we can just pass through the trigger.string. Because it'll match all of this up here. Perfect. All right. The header string, yep, oh, dot value. There we go. I'm just going to close this and I'm going to open it up again. No, it's still got a problem. Yeah, it's weird. I'm going to double check everything. I didn't have a problem. In fact, it's booted up pretty quickly. 204 milliseconds. I mean, that was pretty fast. That's like, boom. And then I'm doing a hard refresh. I'm looking at my consoles. There's no issues. I'm hitting documentation. Nothing's there. Then I go new folder. Ooh, header string is not defined. All right, let's scroll up. It is now. Just going to hit refresh. We're going to hit documentation. Ooh, header name was access during render. Sucks to mind. Trigger is not defined. Oh, event trigger. Alright, no, I don't know why. Sorry, long day. There we go. Fix that issue. Just hit refresh. There we go. Create a new folder. We just need the little X symbol up here to close it. That's going to be pretty easy to do. We'll pass through an icon. We can then do all this new stuff down here. We can also edit the styling of this, considering it is just create a new folder. All right, cool. We can get this all sorted. So the idea being, we got this, we've got all of this. All right, cool. Let's do a header 3 here. Let's end that header 3 there. Everyone's happy with that. Yep, there we go. We've got that. We just need an icon in here now. And this will be part of the no. I'll just put it right there. So import cross from the side. All right, cool. Let's have a look at the icons. We really just need an X. That's it. Just import X. There we go. Yeah, we just go down here. We go X. What's the prop? Oh, I keep forgetting it. All right. Guide. Sizing. Oh, all right. Yep. All right, cool. We just go back over here. We just hit refresh just to make sure everything's freshed in. Documents, we want to go new folder. There's our little X. Now 12 won't work, but that's not going to be a problem. I'm going to double that to, let's say 20. There we go. That's perfect. What I actually want to do is, there's a couple of things I can do. I can put this in a div, have them set in a row and put them on opposite ends through Flexbox shenanigans, which will be very easy to do. The other alternative is I use CSS. I'm leaning on the Flexbox just because it's going to be so much easier for me. And what I could do is I can do that. Now I've got Flexbox onto here. I can go header row, or modal header row. There we go. And because it's scoped, I just go down here, modal header row. I go display, flex. Flex direction is going to be a row. Space. Sorry, justify content. Space between. And then we go down into documents, we hit upload, boom, there we go. That's all the way over here now. Now I can add in some padding for that SVG. So if we go under SVG, we're going to go padding, let's say 1 REM. That's going to do this, which doesn't look that crash hot. But what we could do is transform. And I'll show you guys what I'm doing in a second. So I'm just doing a translate and all that kind of stuff, but as you can see, this still has a little gap at the bottom, which I'm not liking at all. Yeah, I'm not liking that. Not one bit. So we've got it like this. This should be okay. Famous last words. Problem is the person has to click on it directly. There's no overlapping stuff. In which case, removing this out of the flex box might be better. Having it be positioned differently might be a little bit better. That way the person can click on it and be like, boop, and close everything. Yeah. We're going to do an ARIA label. And the reason being is we've got to sort of tell the system, hey, you can close the motor via this. I mean, that's very, very generic. It'll have to do. All right, once again, we're just using this. We're just going to go in here. We're just going to paste it in. All right, so going down to this. This will be T close modal. All right, and that's just say to people whoever's using the system with text readers and stuff like that, hey, this particular thing will close it for you. We then want to go a v on click equals close modal. And that's just going to be a very, very simple function up here. Close mobile, modal, sorry, not mobile. And that will just work like that. I don't know why closing tag matches nothing. Yeah, there's something wrong with the linter, but I'll close PyCharm in a second and reopen it. All right, and probably not the linter, the thing. All right, so if I click this, boom. If I click anywhere else, yep, that's fine. Then boom, and then boom. All right, I'm happy with that. Pretty stock standard simple stuff. We should also swing this around so Socks gets some screen time. She's unionized now. She has to get X amount of minutes per stream. All right, I'm just going to stop this. I am going to update just going to update that. It's dangerous. I'm actually updating stuff on stream. Very, very dangerous. Stopping it seemed to work. As it does. Just going to close all tabs and open up this one again. And BrainQ, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. All right, so we've got this. And if we click on this and we go upload new link, we've got the new link, create a new hyperlink. Yep. All right, cool. And then if we do upload document there, yep, perfect. So what I want to do is the new folder one is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to have a basic input that is required, and then an OK and a cancel. And that's pretty much it. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, with the new folder, we're just going to go down here. This is going to be very simple. My keyboard's either stopped working or JetBrains. All right, JetBrains is shut the bed. Sorry, I've just got to reopen all this. So you're going to go look over here? Yeah, there we go. Say hi to everyone. All right, I'm going to delete that. What we want to do is we want to import welk import. And we use this multiple times. Ooh, don't use it anywhere else? It will be text input, isn't it? Yeah, it's text input. All right, easy done. Looks like I'm just making this one open again just to show you what it's going to be like. So text input, we've got all of that. Yeah, we'll use the compact class. I'm cheating. I'm tired. I'm just going to key this in. I'm going to let the lint do all its work. We want to put that up at the top. We also want to go define internationalization. So const t equals use internationalization. We've got messages. We've got English. And then Japanese. So the English would be in here. We've got this. We've got that. That will be folder, new folder name. Oh, just yeah, new folder name. New folder placeholder. It's definitely required. The model will be new folder name. It'll use vfocus to focus this onto this particular element, which is good. All right, so up here we'll have new folder name. And then we'll have new folder placeholder. I can't think of anything else. Thinking of writing in something socks or related, but I was like, you know, no, that's fine. All right, so we just need to translate these. Easy done. We've got all of that. So we've got the define. We've got, sorry, define models. This would be, oh, actually, no, these will be the refs. Sorry. This would be new folder model. I'm gonna, sorry, I'm just, ref string and then that should almost be it. So now we just need a footer. This is where we use the welk modal footer. This is also where we can start putting in a class and all that kind of fun stuff in here. Like so, and scope everything out. So we're going to have flex, so display flex. We're then going to have flex direction is going to be a row, and then the flex, justify content is going to be space between. All right, easy done. We do need to import these, so that's just as simple as. And good morning, Ermison. How are you going? Hopefully you're going well. All right, we've got the welk modal footer. There we go, we've just got that imported. Ooh, refocus. Hang on, give me a second. View vfocus. Alright. No, I'm leaving it as vfocus. So we're going to have two buttons in here. And this is where I forget what I did for the buttons. So I'm just going to have a quick look. I will document all of this process sometime soon. We're going to go dot primary. All right, up here. There we go. You're good. Oh, that's good to hear. I'm also going good. Just a bit tired again today. Otherwise, yeah. What language? So JavaScript with the Vue framework. So we're doing most of the front end stuff today, which is coming along nicely. So we've got a couple of the buttons working. Well, I'm halfway in between writing a line here, but yeah, we've got the modal appearing now, and it looks like we've got that. I just got to get these buttons done down at the bottom, and yeah. Hopefully this will go smoothly. Hopefully we won't have. I'm just hoping it just goes smoothly. Yeah. All right, so that would be. I was having a look at this. So we've got primary, we've got secondary, we've got danger, we've got disabled, we've got cess, we've got info, we've got disabled. I didn't do one for cancel. Yeah, all right. Let's I'm just having a look at example buttons and stuff like that. Just bear with me. I mean, we could just do a plain old button for cancelled. I won't lie. That should be okay. And then class equals primary. This would be create new folder. Oh, we've got to put this in. Hang on, sorry, my brain is just deciding to go crazy. There it goes. So we've got create new folder as for that. Go up here, create new folder, create new folder. We're just going to do that. So we're just going to pump it into there. We're just going to go over into our translate, and we're just going to go create new folder. I'm going to go over there. We're just going to go over here, and we're just going to paste it in like that. Sweet. Yeah, relaxing with front ends. Yeah. It shouldn't be too hard to actually do a lot of this stuff. I think I've got the modals how I want them. I think we don't need... so with the 031 for NearBeach, we're using Bootstrap for all the modals, and a lot of the stuff, you can really tell it's heavily reliant on Bootstrap. With this particular version, because we're building Wildcat from the ground up, we can sort of make it so that we are not reliant on a few things. Yeah. Did that actually pull in the proper welcome button? No, it didn't. Alright, so we've got our two buttons there. We should also do cancel. I'm probably going to see this. Alright, I'm back. You guys didn't need to hear that. Okay. So that is also got to be cancel. Okay, easy done. Let's go back over here. So we've got create new folder and cancel. Now these I might make compact. So smaller sort of buttons. As it doesn't necessarily need to take up this whole entire thing. I'm also noticing that... Okay, yeah, I just need a bit more space in this footer. Yeah, there we go. Now, I could also bring that down a little bit. So that way, that looks a lot nicer. Currently developing a system for analyzing SLAs for service requests. Oh, nice. What are you using? I need to add in a disable condition on this. I've already got to read the spreadsheets. Oh, fair enough. Access the ITSM website and retrieve the requests. All that's left is to analyze them and gain some knowledge on my part. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Are you trying to analyze how difficult certain Python and ChatGPT? Are you trying to analyze how difficult tasks are also at the same time? All right, so I do want to do the margin top is 0. I do like that. We're going to add in a disabled class to these buttons in here, which for the cancelled, this is fine. It's going to be on this one. This is create disabled, and in reality that should be like that. And then I've just got to do a computed component. Const is create disabled equals computed and then what I want to do so there's a couple of checks I want to do. If empty, then yes, disabled. The other one is if the folder name already exists. So, sorry, I'm just trying to actually have a quick think. I need to figure out how to check if the folder already exists. I don't want the user typing out a folder name, hitting enter or something like that in it doing its processing. Only to find out after a couple of seconds that that folder already exists. Isn't that right, Socks? She's like, what? Why are you touching me? So... Oh, okay. Yeah, basically need to analyze and why whenever it was because it was waiting for service, lack of approval of the call, or was suspended before. Oh yeah, fair enough. All right. So straight away we can go if the model, so new folder model, sorry, equals nothing. Return true. That's right. New folder dot value. Nothing. This would be disable the button. There we go. As for if the folder already exists, that's actually a good one. Now, I could send data up and then have it pump all the way back down and all that kind of stuff. Oh. The folder name can't be not exists. You know what? I'll tell you what. Where's our sites? I'm gonna right hand click. I'm just gonna go. Actually, no, it'll be up here now. Where is the plus button? Why do I have it in list format anyway? There we go. Right hand click, new folder. Not exists. So I don't have any of that information down here. The create and filter does not have it up here. I could potentially use template refs to get access to a method under another component, and then I could query that and be like, hey, I'm just going to put this in here. Does this exist for the current folder? And that might be the solution, but at the moment we haven't actually built up that system. So this is going to be a to-do to implement, because the last thing we want is two folders being on the same name. Now we are going to, on the back end, do a double check, making sure that if someone were to move folders around, the folder names don't clash and all that kind of fun stuff. So that way people don't have a problem. This just becomes a to-do. Check the folder, check if the folder name already exists in the current folder. That's all we need to do. I'd imagine the Japanese reading for this folder name. Potentially. I actually don't know what it would be. It would be, what was the folder name again? Not exist. So is Shinitis in there? Shinai. Sonzai Shinai. There we go. We learned something today. Why did cancel get put on here? What the fuck? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at this. So, yeah, that's disabled. Great. But whilst it's disabled, it does look like that. I don't want it looking like that. Why is... I thought I had a different color for disabled. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. When we fill this out, so fill, let's say, not exist. It's done, it fills out, and then when we hit enter, we're going to create the new folder, which will send that data to the back end. We also then need to have the ability to create that. All right. This is where I've got to think about where I'm putting all this, all the crud. In this sort of case, this cancel, we should actually connect this cancel to this. So that's easy done. So this is the work button. This is on a V on click equals close modal. Oh, we might need to emit that up. So not a problem. Define emits. This will be closed modal. Cool. We scroll all the way down. We go on a VR. All right, cool. Close modal. Sweet. Everyone's happy with that. We've got then the create and filter in here. What we'll have is new folder. I've got to split these out into their own sort of things now because this is getting very large. On the new folder. Oh, beyond close modal, close modal. All right, cool. That connects it up already. Oh, oh no. Oh, did I stupidly? Oh yeah, I did. All right, cool. Not a problem. Failed to resolve directive focus. All right, we're going to get rid of the focus then. But I'm curious how this actually works. I might have put it in there. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to get rid of it from there. Right there is fine. So focus. Oh. The focus on mount. Okay, yep. Custom directives. All right. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. How do you know that this is translated correctly? I don't at the moment. I do have a Japanese friend that will help me with this. So I can just ask them, does any of this make sense? They'll probably say no. And hopefully give me better translations or sort of correct me or anything like that. So, yeah. The reason why I'm still setting it up is one, for testing. So that way I can see it actually is working on every single form. Japanese is completely and utterly different to English. So it's a lot easier to spot. You can do the same thing with Korean or any sort of like Arabic too could also work. It's just, yeah, it doesn't have any sort of English in there. And you're like, oh, that's not English. So, yeah. Also, I'm hoping that people see how easy it is to sort of translate it, especially when I pull it out into its own file systems and so forth like that, into the folder structure, that others will help translate it into other different languages. So that's also the hope. So if I do that earlier on, it's going to take me a lot longer to develop NearBeach's 0.32, but I'm hoping it pays off for the long run. All right, so documentation, upload, we've got new folder, we've got this cancel is just not wanting to work. Ooh. Is that because I put the V on the wrong button? Yeah, you did. All right. There you go. So now it's working. We'll do new link in a second. But yeah, this should be that, and then we've got to create the folder. Now, where am I going to put this code? Now, these are all the creates. What I could potentially do is create and filter could have it all. And then it's not far from here into the document component where I can then get it inserted. However, that is a very big jump. And I don't like that. Another thing I could do is, once again, I could use the template refs wherever they're gone in here. I could go, all right, cool, here's the use this template ref and stuff like that, I could make it so that it hooks up with up here fairly easily. And thus I could probably access some of the functions that are in here, which then accesses the data and updates the data and so forth like that. Because up here we have, sorry, document component, sorry. Up here at the document component, we have the documents, we've got the folder, current folder ID, and all that kind of fun stuff in there. So yeah, that's something we could potentially utilize. I just realized also I need the current folder ID. So that's going to be a prop. All right, this will be current folder ID. We're going to keep the same name. Current folder ID. Do we have it here? No, we don't, but that's perfectly fine. We can pass it down, or if we're using the template refs, oh, can I do that? Can I access data from template refs? I don't know. It does save me having pushing it down several flights of components. Alright, oh, sorry, big yawn. I am gonna try. Okay, it's worth a shot. So we've got the document component here. I believe we're going to have to actually send it one step further, one step higher. We're going to need to do it in the up here. I'm just going to scroll all the way up to the top. So we've got ref child. All right, cool. Ref equals. Now, how are they doing it? Doing it like that. Is there any? All right. Yep. All right. Cool. This would be the document component ref. I like that name. I'm going to put this here. So we've got that layered. And I'm going to go define template refs in here. So what we need is we need something like that. And that will be document component. I can't spell. Ref. All right. And just because I do spelling mistakes all the time, I'm just going to copy and I'm going to paste. Sorry. Just gonna copy and I'm going to paste. Just double check. I don't know why that's still in red text. That will be document component ref. All right, cool. cool. What I'm actually gonna do is when this gets added in, there's no way to actually check for it in here, is there? Unless I'm gonna put in something silly. Now they're saying input value that's for that one, but what I want is current folder ID. Just gonna refresh everything. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get can't access property value, setup document ref is null. Maybe we can't. Oh, hang on. Or I'm an idiot. I'm reading this wrong. This refs items. Yeah, I'm probably setting this up wrong. Which ID am I using? I'm using PyCharm. Just full disclosure, it's done by JetBrains. Just full disclosure, I actually get it for free. Because they give me a free license because NearBeach is open sourced. That's why. Alright, I might be mucking myself up with the template refs and all that kind of fun stuff. Oh, sorry. So I'm going to pull out what I've just done. And we'll do some more Googling. Just trying to get used to the post and but for a while trying to get value from ref showing empty. So template refs, thank you very much. Oh, sorry. Not a help, but not a problem. We have a solution. We can pass that variable down to props. It's not ideal. It's getting to that certain point where we have some data that is going up and down multiple levels. Actually spending time and moving this to a state management might be a little bit better. I don't want to do that though. I don't want to put everything in state where I don't need it. All right, create and filter. What we need to do is we're just going to go and do current folder ID equals current folder ID. We're just passing it down like that. The best thing is, we don't have it set up here, so that's not a problem. International refs, this is now define props. Const prop, actually, yeah, I do need, do I need props? Sorry, I meant the variable. I do need props. This will be current folder ID. It'll be type number. Default is going to be 0. Actually, no, this is required. There we go. Now, the reason why I ask if I need props, I don't think I need props, is just because down here, then I just pass that down. So this would be actually passing all of it down into every single one here. Now, the alternative is when someone makes data, let's say down here, we emit it up into here, and it then handles what to do. Which, hey, that's okay. That might be the solution that we go for. Sorry, just give me a couple of seconds as I think this through. However, it does make it messy, which is not what I like. And admitting stuff down a couple and then up a couple, and propping it down and then admitting it back up a couple of rungs. It's not ideal. And Microwave, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome back. Bungo or Bonjo. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I'm just getting the front end for the documentation up and running. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all the all the concerns within their own sort of structure. So when someone makes up something in here, we make the folder in here. All right, so we've got all that. I need the props for this coming down. So this is the header. That's perfectly fine. New folder. What we want to do. Oops, socks. Are you coming over here? All right, people get to see you. There we go. That's all that matters to them. We need to pass down current folder. Actually, oh, yep. Current folder ID equals current folder ID. Sweet. We're just going to copy that a couple of times. We're going to breakpoint this into new lines. I'm going to do that. You're all good? Oh, that's good to hear. Socks. Alright, so we've got that passing down. Yeah, I don't think I need the props variable. So we just get rid of that. Define props is perfectly fine. Essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're just going to go up like that. We're going to go down into new folder. In fact, we're going to do that with the 7. Define emits. That will happen after that. And then we just do that. And Bob's your uncle. Alright, cool. Just give me 2 seconds though. I want to see if I can. Wait. Socks, you gonna look up? You gonna look up? There we go. Might be. She didn't do it long enough. Alright. It's trying to get like a cat beard. Alright. So we've got the props coming down here. I'm happy with all of that. We'll have the create. So we'll do the on click equals create new folder. That will just be up here. Define functions. That will be sorry, async function create new folder. We don't need to pass through any variables whatsoever because we can grab it directly from the model. Sorry. What we want to do is send the data to the backend. And that's pretty much it. Sorry, and then update the add current folders. So we'll need to omit that up twice. That's not going to be a problem. We should also add an state here too. So when someone, oops, I want new link. When someone hits create new folder, it sort of states what it's doing at the moment. So yeah, it goes from create new folder to creating your new folder, which I like. And once it's done, it'll create it, it'll close this, and yeah. Alternatively, if I brought this up into another place, I could handle it a different way. No, let's not overcomplicate it today. All right, let's get this working, and then we think about overly complicating the user interface and user experience. Yeah, I think one problem I can see is someone creating folder, click create new folder, and let's say they have really bad internet. All right, it says it's updating and creating and stuff like that, and then they go ahead and close the modal. That might cause problems because we're still waiting for that fetch to actually happen. If the modal closes, it might destroy the component, in which case then we get a response back from the backend eventually, but it doesn't know what to do. Annoying. Yeah, we're just going to have to deal with it at the moment. The alternative solution is when someone goes to create a new folder, this modal will change into something else. Now, this modal is this size. I think that's a relatively good size for this. Sure, it could be shorter and so forth like that. Just because the folder name won't be that big. But I think that's an okay size for that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the to-dos for connecting up to the back end. I don't think I have the energy today to actually complete the back end. Connect up to the back end. Because, yeah, we've still got to create the back end sort of connections, but I don't know how long I can last. But what I can do is I can move on to the other one. So I can quickly get new link and I can quickly get upload document sorted. Now with upload document, I realize that Welk probably doesn't have an upload. Input upload. Yeah, it doesn't have the file type thing, but that's not a problem. We can use something temporarily like this, which will handle it for us. Now we might want to go ahead and go, oops, sorry, Socks just gave you a little tap. Tailwind file upload, we might give it some sort of decorations, shall we say. Something like make it look a lot nicer and so forth like that, which I think would suit it, but we'll have to do this at the Welk level, because if I do it, I think I'll do it properly at the Welk level. Yeah. Yeah, just make it look like that instead of that. Ew, yuck. Yeah, I know. And then, yeah. All right. Or do something like this, where it's got a label, and then inside the label is a div, and then this class is hidden, but this is connected to this. So the label's connected to that, which might work. If I feel up to it tonight, I will do that, because I do kind of like that. But the problem is we don't have any icon files. Yeah, alright. Probably going to veto what I just said, just because I realized that unless we pass the label content through, which could work. I mean, I could create both. We'll see how we go. So, yeah. Alright, Socks, what are you doing? Alright, look at my butt. Alright. Let's move on to the next widget. So it'll be very similar to this. I'm just putting that over there for reference. We're just going to go new link, add a new link. Now I did actually bring up NearBeach current. So if we go into here, add folder is what we've just done. All right, cool. Sweet. We've done that. Add link is what we're doing. So we'll have the document description, or we'll have link description. We'll flip these around. So we'll have URL, you paste it in, and then it's going to copy that over to there. Only if it's empty. Do you use Claude Code or Codex at your work? I use Claude every now and then, but once again, I use it as a tool, not a crutch. It only sort of generates me sort of basic code, very, very basic. We're talking almost boilerplate type of stuff. Or it would essentially give me ideas, and then I would go ahead and research those ideas a bit deeper. I also give it a lot of logs too whenever I'm trying to find an issue with one of the servers and stuff like that. So yeah, once again, using it as a tool, not a crutch. So yeah, all we need to do is add in these two links in here. Now the person's going to paste the link up at the top first, and then the description will pop down there, and they can double click that and change the description, and the add link will go boop. Otherwise, what I could potentially do is have it so the document description, the URL is the only thing that needs to be pasted, and then when someone goes add link, it'll automatically put the link in the document URL. Which means less work that the user's actually doing. I kind of like that, and we handle that. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're doing a welc text input. Once again, this is going to be class compact. We don't need this to be big. The label will equal, we'll need to translate this. So we're just going to go all the way up to the top. We're just going to go define internationalization. So const t equals define, use internationalization, sorry, use internationalization. That should be up at the top, thank you very much. We are going to go messages, we're going to go English, and we're just going to go Japanese like that. All right, cool. I should do, should do that automatically. And then in here, what we're going to have is, URL location. URL location. Link description. Description. There we go. All right. I'm going to put that back up there. We're going to go all the way over to Google Translate, and we're just going to go description. Setsumi. All right. Easy. Down here, what we're going to do, oops, wrong button to press, is we're going to go URL, all right, for this label. Placeholder text. Oh, we haven't done placeholder text up here. Ooh, from practical engineering point of view, what is the issue with AI coding to a greater extent if validated with end-to-end and integrated tests? Who's writing those? Who's writing the E to E and integration tests? But also, don't forget about unit tests and all that kind of stuff. I love it, unit tests. It just makes mistakes every now and then. I mean, so does everyone. But, you know, a lot of the times, if you're forced to use it and you're forced to push out something really, really fast, it's not going to be as high quality. So, yeah. I would say that humans should write the scenarios. All right, yeah. URL placeholder. Yes. Actually, no, this is going to be same. It doesn't matter. So the description, we won't worry about the description placeholder, but we'll go, oops, wrong button. We'll go up here, placeholder equals going to be https nearbeach.org. Done. That's pretty stock standard. We've got the label, validation rules equals required. Easy done. V model. This will be new link new URL. I'll just do it like that. That's fine. And ref. I realize I don't need the ref over there. There we go. I just need to do that. Now I do need to import this. Need to import this. We need to create this. All right. New link model. There we go, not modal, model. So that one's that, and then underneath that we're just going to go welk text input class equals come back again. We don't worry about a placeholder. We're just going to go label equals t. This will be description, easy done. There'll be no validation rules whatsoever. V model equals description model, and then we just go bump bump. And then we go up onto line 21. Easy done. Yep, we do need required from welk. Now, this is where we'll have the layout like this. And then I'll have welk, not card footer, sorry, model footer. We just need to import it. And then we're going to have two buttons down here. We'll have the welk button, very similar to this over here. I'm just going to copy that because essentially it is going to be very similar. So we need to handle the emits. Oh, I forgot to do that. So const emits equals define emits. We're going to close the modal. Done. That's it for the moment. We'll most likely program this to send data up, but we'll do that in a second. Emit, not emits. Now, is create disabled? We'll need that as a computed thing, and then that will be create new link. We'll need that as a function. So we'll do that right now. And hey, how are you going? Did you want me to do the Rubik's? All right, wherever it is, it's probably behind me. Yeah, all right. How are you, Tentai? Oh, I'm slow today. That's the old one. That is also an old stiff one. Where is it? Not over here. Oh, it's right there. All right. Here it is. No, that's my old headset. All right, we'll take a little break. There we go. All right, I'm just gonna do that, whatever color's on the bottom. Whoops. Accidentally hit my thing. Whatever, I'm going to do that again. Whatever color's on the bottom will solve for yellow. All right, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, that, and there's our yellow. All right, and now we're just going to do the top. There we go. Sorry, not the top. We'll do the sides. Now we're going to do the top. All right, we're getting everything lined up, and then okay, I've got just these couple of ones to do. There we go. It's good as new. So yeah. Hopefully everyone's going well. All right, I've lost where I was. Oh yeah, I was doing async function, create new link. This will be add code. Oh, to do, sorry. To do. Create new link and pass information up. Easy done. That to do is meant to be hyper green. There we go. Define computed. So const we're gonna is create disabled. Yep, is create disabled equals computed. We'll do something like this, and then we just need to make sure that the new link. All right, this will be as simple as return new link model dot link. Oh no, sorry. Equals that. All right. So if it equals nothing, what the fuck? Sorry, excuse my French. I know why. Sorry, return new link model dot value equals no. Alright, cool. Sorry, I mucked that up. That was my bad. I'm just getting a bit tired. That's all. So that should be that one. Pretty stock standard. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look over here just in case I did actually create the upload. I did not. Alright, so that is something I probably should do in here. But for the moment, what we're going to do is... Oh, this is a... This is something we're going to discuss about what we want this to work. So I'm just going to bring down old NearBeach into here. We'll do something like this. I'm just going to go upload document. Now, at the start, we had something like this. We've got the no file, a no upload limit, and all that kind of fun stuff. And then I'm just going to do a screenshot. That's perfectly fine. And then when you do that, it goes into the document description. I'm probably going to do the same thing here. And then... Yeah, I don't know how I want to tackle this upload document yet. Sorry, just give me a couple of seconds. I'm just trying to think. Doing it like this won't be a problem. However, that being said, let's have a look at the upload forms and stuff like that. So when we go over here and we click on something, and let's go into pictures and let's do, we'll do the Joker in there. Notice how there's the name in there, but I want to be able to edit it. Another thing I could potentially do, very similar to the old NearBeach sort of stuff, is we could still have the name there. We could have the document there, and then the user can edit the name. Oh, that's something I could do. And well, so what I mean, so we'll go back to the Tailwind stuff. Notice how it says Joker. I could get it so someone could potentially still be able to edit that. It'll be an input field. And that way I have, and then if they click browse, they can then change it to something else, and then that should be fine. I think that might work. That way, I've got the best of both worlds, so when they click to upload and don't do anything else with the file name, they can still upload it. Well, we'll handle all the complexity. I've just got to upload. Well, we can have a couple of models in VueJS, so that's not going to be a problem. Sorry, I'm just trying to think how I would handle that with the models and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, I'm pretty sure we can have a couple of models. VueJS model, multiple models. So yeah, you just do something like this and you set it up like this down here. So yeah, that's not going to be a problem. All right, cool. I just got to document that. Let's see, I'm fading very fast. Sorry guys, this is... I know I haven't been able to do a full stream in a while. I just have no energy. The other thing I wanted to have a quick look at is how we're currently doing it. Yes, thank you, Socks. Thank you. If I go into source. Not NearBeach, so source, JavaScript, components. This will actually be under the old modules because that's what we called it. Then submodules. Actually, no, this will be under the wizards because that's what we called it. Because it's a wizard. This would be either add document, it's not there, or upload document wizard. There we go. And we have a look in here. There's our max upload string. That's something we should also notify the user about. But I'm just wondering how I could actually notify the user. Not a problem. Anyway, we've got the sorry, file too large. And then we got this file handle uploads here. And then if I try and find that on this page, and it just does all that. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And then it's the upload file which we've got to find. There's data to send, all of that. Data to send, set document description. Yep. That's perfectly fine. Yep. Yep, that's perfectly fine. That's going to be the same sort of logic too. And then on upload progress, all right, progress. Yep. Access. I forget how we're uploading the document. Document model. Oh, that's it right there. All right. So because we're moving away from Access, we'll have a look at, we're going to have a look at the post file. So we've got all this, we've got the fetch, all right, cool. Import, form data append file, input, and then files. Oh, okay. And then post, and then the data. All right. Okay. We can deal with that. Not going to be a problem. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. I'm also fading very fast. I'm going to have to call it very shortly. So, what I want to do now is in Whelp create the file upload section. That's going to handle both the file upload and the file description all in one component. And that would be great for us. That way I can just import it in. And not have to worry about anything. Then that's simple for us. We then handle the directive of admitting that. I then got to handle the directive of yes. Actually updating the local data to match the stuff that has come back from upstream. We've also got to handle what we've got to do when there's slow internet. So when someone clicks on submit and it uploads, in this sort of case, we will have hopefully a progress bar for this. And yeah, I think that's our solution, but sadly it's gonna be next stream. Sorry guys, I'm absolutely just falling asleep here. Oh no, that was just a bit of lag. All right, all right. We'll go find someone to raid. We'll raid Mr. D-Boy. Alright, cool. Anyway, thank you very much everyone for being here tonight. Sadly, I did not get anywhere near where I wanted to. I wanted to get this at least set up so that it's sending data to the back end and then I can handle that. But I'm just so tired. Hopefully tomorrow, if I've got some time, I can knock out some of this, fix up the fact that that disabled looks... we're going to have to fix that up so it looks more disabled. And so forth like that. And thank you very much, Addicted, for the follow. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, and hopefully you enjoy Mr. D-Boy. Thank you. For those on YouTube, sadly you won't be able to join us with that raid, but thank you very much for being here, and I do hope to see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help the channel. So yeah, thank you.